Hi, people. Thank you for stopping by at Building Wealth with Rajeev. This is my continuation of discussion with Jitendra Chouksey, JC. JC founded Fitter, one of the world's largest fitness and nutrition community. In this episode, we talk about fitness, keto diet, more importantly, obsession with six packs.
It's a healthy obsession. I'd rather have people, talking about fit bodies than, opening up food channels and telling people where they should binge or party. People have different sorts of obsessions. I don't see anything wrong when somebody is just, obsessed with getting a healthy body. Um, that never has to be the end though. But
Mm,
they are if they are posting their pictures on social media, and if they're able to motivate one guy, or let's say a few people,
mm,
and taking an initiative or a step, I think
mm,
it's good. If it's
mm,
working for them, it's perfectly fine. What I
mm.
don't like is the fact that people are using drugs or unsafe means to reach
Steroids.
there. Yeah, that's nonsense, and that's partially why one of the reason why I appreciate the bodybuilding industry or any of the bodybuilding federations and all these Mr. Olympia and all those things, right?
Mm,
Because I believe that, look, then you have lost the purpose of being fit.
mm,
The main purpose of keeping yourself fit is hygiene. It's
mm,
hygiene. Once you start taking drugs and using these things, then you're not doing it for hygiene. You're doing it
mm,
for something else, which is
mm,
definitely not hygiene,
mm,
right? And that basically dilutes the entire purpose of why you should be physically fit.
mm,
So that's where the disagreement happens.
mm,
If people are doing it naturally, people are doing it in the right manner, where
mm,
it's long term, sustainable,
mm,
and it's not shortcuts and short.
mm.
Then I have no qualms with them. You know,
Okay.
you do it using drugs, I'll keep like 100 feet distance from you.
Mm. No, I think there's a couple of things. One thing is, I think you transformed your body as well, right, JC? I think you were different, and how did that happen? I think there was certain thinking also behind that, right? It was not just pure spending time in gym. I mean, you started thinking about fitness differently, wasn't it?
No, I did spend quite a lot of time in the gym. In fact, if we talk about today, look, I started working out when I was 14. So good 22 years, I'd say. 20, 22 years. Yeah, roughly. I've
Mm,
spent a lot of time in the gym, right?
mm,
Uh, yeah, but my body didn't transform because I didn't know the right way, and I didn't know the importance of nutrition.
mm,
And so even though I was building muscles because I was lifting weight, I could never see them, or I didn't get rid of my excess weight, because I just wasn't eating right.
mm,
And the day I learned about quantified nutrition is the day my life changed.
mm,
I've gotten in the best shape of my life, and
mm,
you've seen my old pictures for the last 7 and 8 years. I'm literally maintaining the same
mm,
condition, and
mm,
I don't plan on losing this condition unless until I'm like sick or I'm injured, which happened back in 2015,
mm,
because of which I could
mm,
exercise, and I did
mm,
gain some weight, right? But the minute I got better with my injury, I tried to get back into the shape, right? So, and that's actually pretty easy. The more I do it, the more I realize that it's extremely easy. It's just been complicated excessively. Today, if somebody asks me how easy or difficult it is to build six packs, I say, look, just eat right and exercise. Six packs, eight packs, whatever you need, it will automatically happen. It
it's a
will automatically
process.
happen. There's no intricate thinking. There's no complex thinking required to build muscles or look lean and aesthetic. And that's
Mm,
just basic body's hygiene. It's an outcome of what you do in your day-to-day lifestyle. So you
mm.
don't exercise to build six-pack abs.
Yeah.
Six-pack abs happen as a part of your lifestyle.
Mm, mm. No, one thing is, I think a couple of things come into your mind.
Mhm,
One thing is your injury. Okay.
mhm,
Now, when I started exercising, I was doing deadlift.
yeah.
I felt a bit of a pain in my back. Yeah.
Mhm,
And then I went to physio, what a doctor, and, okay, leave weights completely, just walk. I think that was the doctor's advice for the next couple of years. Obviously, I did not take the advice. So
Yeah.
you have this injury, and I see you jumping all over. I mean, there's something kickboxing. Then there you were somersaulting that day. I saw the photo of your what's. How are you managing that? I mean, is it a myth that your back is hurt, you can't do this or can't do that?
I wouldn't say it's a myth, because it hurts like crazy. And I did at one point of time think that this is it, my life is over, I won't be able to do something. But then, when the doctor tells you that you can't do anything and you don't do anything for 2 months, 3 months, you have these worse thoughts. You're like, "Isse acha to, like, let's not even live. If I'm living like this, if this is what my life is going to be, then let me not live." And then you say, fuck this injury. I don't care, but this is not how I'm going to live my life. And then you start taking steps, and then you realize that the injury keeps getting better every time you do something. And then you're like, shit, maybe this is just a bad advice the doctor is giving. And then you start learning more about these injuries, and you realize every athlete goes through injuries. Before athletes, you had soldiers, you had wars, you had so many people throughout the history. Not everybody had an orthopedic surgeon do a microdissectomy, or take out a part of their vertebra, right? All those people somehow survived. And if you are telling me that these people didn't lift heavy, or these people didn't have injuries, I mean, you're lying to yourself, right? They must have survived through these great injuries. And so that's it is, right? So your body is capable of healing itself. And this incredible healing power requires three different things. One is motion, nutrition, and hydration. These are the three things. So motion, nutrition, and hydration. The more I read about it, the more I realized that injuries heal over a period of time, as long you have motion, nutrition, hydration in place. And I think that's what happened to my back injury. Today, you've seen me doing backflips.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I've done boxing, and every time I start something, some injuries happen. In fact, when I was doing backflip, my neck got hurt really bad because I fell, and it was so bad that it also resulted in some nerve damage, and so I had like numb arm for almost like 3-4 days.
Oh God.
And I have been through injuries, and I know that injuries heal. Your body has this capability of healing you. So now it's fine, healed in a week.
Yeah, I think one of the doctors also, I think the science, I don't know, there are certain things which science can't catch, because there was this guy, I was reading a famous bodybuilder's book. He was saying that you go to a doctor and he will say that don't be a bodybuilder. But you look at doctors, how many of the doctors are looking healthy?
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate actually these days, because you go to most of the doctors, and you look at them and wonder if these guys actually know the meaning of health, because they don't look fit. And that's just a sad state of health. And so the last thing you want to listen to is, or look forward to is, health advice from a very unhealthy looking doctor. And that's where we are right
Most
now.
of, yeah, but many of them are, anyway. Now, it. I have taken, as I said, I was a student of your company, and the meal plans and everything was there, part of that. Nobody came to me in your company say that go on low carb or zero carb or 10 grams of carb. And I see about this keto. What do you make out of that?
No, like I said, look, when we all started, everybody thought that nutrition and fitness is extremely complex. And over the years, what we have done is we have made it extremely simple. So today, when you join Fitter, they will not ask you whether you have to go on a low carb or intermittent fasting or keto. They'll say, what food are you eating? What food you want to continue eating? Is there enough protein in your diet? Can I add this? Can I add that? And that's how it starts, right? So rather than making fitness a big part of your lifestyle, they try to sneak fitness into your lifestyle. Fitness cannot be a big part of your life. You don't make a big deal out of brushing your teeth or taking a shower. You don't go about telling the world, shit, I'm going crazy because I didn't brush my teeth. You brush your teeth and then just go. And so that's how fitness should be.
Is keto good for it? I mean, going without carbs, do you think it's healthy?
It's not unhealthy as long as you're doing it right. There's no problem with ketogenic diet if you understand the mechanisms. It's just a low carbohydrate diet, and what happens is your body starts generating more energy from fat in the form of ketone bodies. So it's not like you're starving yourself. You're still eating properly. It's just that instead of using a carbohydrate source, you're relying on more fat source. And ketone bodies are as good a source of energy as carbohydrates. And eventually the body's underlying mechanism takes over, right? So keto inherently is not a bad diet. If you want to follow keto, you can follow keto. There's no problem with that. So is with intermittent fasting. It's not even a diet. It's just a dieting technique, right? And all these things are good. Point being that now people are labeling these things. There are people out there in the world who are doing these things already, and they're not labeling it. Like there are some people who primarily live off eating meat and fruit. They just don't call it keto. In a similar manner, there are folks who eat probably twice a day or thrice a day. They just don't go about labeling it as intermittent fasting. Now you call it intermittent fasting. There are people who are eating 2 or 3 meals a day. They are doing it lifelong, but they're not calling it intermittent fasting. So what is happening is now people are looking at specific population groups, and they are saying, look, these guys are doing this and they are healthy, and that's a wrong assumption. And then they are betting their lives on that these people, they are doing this is extremely right, what these people are doing, this is wrong. And that's where the confusion starts. I'm saying that's right also, this is right also. Why are you making a big fuss out of it? As long as you understand the basic science, which is calories in versus calories out, which is eat right, stay disciplined, work out, start with 15 minutes, move up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That's all it takes.
I've been watching again a lot of famous doctors, talking about carbs being a bad source of energy and fat being a better source of energy, and that's why carbs should be left. I'm coming from that argument that whether you.
I think these arguments are dumbfounded. There's no systematic studies which have compared low carb and high carb neck to neck and stated that a ketogenic diet fares better than low carbohydrate diet if we are getting all sciencey. In fact, if you're looking at the paper which Kevin Hall published, they mentioned about the carbohydrate high carb versus low carb diet. They performed equally well when calories were matched and protein were matched. So it didn't matter whether you replaced the non-protein calories with carbohydrates or fats. There was no difference in the weight loss. Both the groups lost same amount of weight and preserved same amount of muscle mass given they were doing resistance training. Right? So there's no difference. But when people come up with their own logical explanations, most of them are just personal bias because they do it themselves and they're like, shit, I didn't lose weight because of a low carbohydrate diet, but I'm going on keto, I'm losing more. So that's my personal bias. It's not backed by science. It's not backed by research. It's just personal bias. And so what you do next thing is you find out all the sources that basically attest to your personal bias. And then what happens is just personal bias meeting more evidence which is supporting your personal bias, and then and then you end up becoming a guy who is just arguing for the sake of arguments, right? And that's what most of the online debates have.
Past interviews, and you talked about self-esteem, that you have had low self-esteem. And how did that you deal with it? Is it getting into the work, or how did that how did you heal yourself?
That's a good question. I don't know how I healed myself, but I'll tell you this, that I have less and less of those inhibitions which I had growing up as a kid. So I'd say, look, I think it's just time and the work that you do and a place and time where you are. Like for example, I'm in this comfortable place in my life right now, and I don't have any self-esteem issues.
Hi people, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, press that bell icon, and do write your comments. They mean a lot to me. We'll chat soon. Until then, keep building, keep smiling, and keep hustling. Thank you.